Hello. Forgot that I muted the mic again. Don't know why I do that. How is everyone's day going? You scared me. I'm so sorry. We are on the month of October, so you might as well expect some jump scares once in a while. You know what I mean? So, I don't really have a plan for a game today. Because I'm kind of going... The reason why I don't have a plan for one is because I'm going back and forth on it. I'm just like, well, I could play Genshin again. You know, try to, like, do some silly stuff or something. Like, maybe explore for a little bit as myself. Or I could play, like, a new game. And, like, betray everything I stand for. That's kind of where I am right now. It's just like I'm trying to figure out what to do. Because there's not really a lot to talk about. The only thing I have to talk about is a not good thing. I love betraying myself. I don't. It sucks. Looks like my mod is playing Skyrim again. I'm not surprised. That's a game I could probably do. No, it's been way too long. I'd have to make a new game because I fucked up my other one. You can talk about whatever you want. That's the thing. I'm not much of a talker, really. It's why I let like Genshin just play itself sometimes. It's just because, you know, I'm not much of a talker. I'm not much of a yapper like my Oshi is. And that's unfortunate because I know for a fact I have to talk sometimes in order to make a connection with people. I do know what I want to do is well, I do want to figure out a game so that I'm not just like sitting here. I guess I could pull up a wheel. I'll let fate decide what game I play today. I will let fate decide what game I play today. Let's see. How's life been? It's had its ups and downs, to be honest. Just like everybody else. I too am suffering this year. I think this year's been... I keep telling my moderator and my artist friend that, Vampire and Jester, that, I think this year is competing to be the worst one. And this is a year where I can say, without any irony in my voice, yeah, no, this has been a shit year. So far. But, you know, I take the punches and just keep on moving on. For if I to dwell upon the past, then I am no better than the people who have caused this pain. Let's see, what other... play Persona, but that's like probably way too controversial to play. So, like, what other games do we have then? I've gotten to a point now where I'm just looking through the PlayStation Store. That's how sad this is getting. I'm looking through the PlayStation Store to see what other games we can play. I will never play Fortnite as long as I live. Tales Noir. I'm not sure if I have the second tier, but let's see. Let's see this game that you mentioned. Tales Noir. Oh. Oh, it's like an animal detective game. Or something. Oh. Yeah, no, you're an animal detective. You're a raccoon detective. I see. I'll add that to the list of things to check out myself. Let's see. I'm gonna add another one just to put it in there. Okay, I got a good amount of games to check out. Actually, is that game still on here? Hold on a second. Let me check. Because if it is, I might actually just play that. Let's see if it is. It's not the first option, which is not great. Ooh, it's on sale. Might actually play this. How do we feel about Ace Attorney? How do we feel about Ace Attorney type games? Because I've always wanted to play the remastered version of Miles Edgeworth. And it looks like it's on sale. So, if anything, I might actually play that. Let me just check my, wait a second. Give me 1 second. I gotta vanish for a second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be back. Give me 1 second. Okay. I can do it. I shall do it. Matter of fact. I just have to wait for it to load. In fact, can I... Go to that. And we'll let that download. Where'd you disappear to? Oh, I had to go check, oops. I had to go check with our financier, see if it's possible to purchase this. I had to go talk to our financiers, our treasurer, one could say. Well, treasurers, actually. No. You think I would talk? You think that a CEO of a company would have to talk to his parents on whether or not he was allowed to purchase a game? But no, in all honesty, no, it wasn't them. Well, I kind of go back and forth on playing out the character that I'm supposed to portray, if I'm going to be honest. Because the guy they're seeing on the screen is supposed to be a CEO, and he does have financial advisors in his room, in his office at all times. Because what better place to keep eyes on them than here, you know? But yeah, I try to keep up with the act, but I can't sometimes. Maybe because some of you are too smart for your own good. Did it just end? Hey, who said you could end? I didn't say you could end. Keep going. So I'll probably change over some stuff on the stream over here. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. Oh, there's not like a... Is there like a... No. Okay, so I'll just have to do that then. Sadness. Okay, it has changed. Excellent. And it is almost done. Means I'll probably be able to move over in just a minute. Ready to go. Ah! Ow! I forgot that I turned it up because I couldn't hear it over my speakers. Let me just turn it down just a tad. Alright. Who's ready to become the edgiest Edgeworth today? I'm gonna show how much I suck at this game. Unless they made it easier. I doubt they did. Because Edgeworth... I don't know what, you know... I think I'm gonna regret this, because Edgeworth plays like 3D chess. Oh well. Let's get started. Language set to English, please. I remember playing this on an emulator because there was no other way to play it. Okay. Oh, yep, here we go. English, please. Click the button below. No. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. I hope you're all ready, because it's not Genshin Impact today. I gotta wait until... how many weeks from now? 2 weeks. And plus, you get to hear my wonderful voice acting. Or so I'm told. Jester says that I'm good at voice acting, but I don't think I am, to be honest. Hang on. I should probably open my blinds really fast. Give me a second. Okay. I am back. I'm gonna see if Jester comes online really fast because I just told them, like, if they want to, if you want to hear me voice act, now's your chance. Funnily enough, I think this is the only game that you don't ever enter a courtroom. To be honest. Because I don't think I ever entered a courtroom at all during, like, the last 2 games. Or the last time I played these games. I wonder, are they still playing? Yep. They still are. Yeah, they'll probably see it in a little bit. Anyway. Shall we get started? I'm getting started, let's do it. Ah, yes. Wait, is that how it always looked? Hold on a second. I don't remember there being 2 chairs over there. I need to get back into playing these games again. I need to. So we've got Investigations and Prosecutor's Gambit. I think I'm gonna pick Investigations first. Nope. Alright, here we go. Oh, that's interesting. You get a choice of very weirdly anime-esque high definition sprite, or the regular old what we're used to sprite. That's interesting. That just looks weird to me. Is it just me? Maybe it's just me, but I think this looks weird. Like, first of all, doesn't his head look a little bigger than it's supposed to? It's gotta be just me, right? I can change the style anytime I want, so I'll probably just pick the high definition one for now, see how that works out. Turnabout visitor. Start from this episode? Yes, please. Everything old is new. Episode 1, Turnabout visitor. I should probably move myself over. March 14th, 1:16 a.m. We have no idea where we are, for the record. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of the prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but the guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what, should I probably be... You know... I wonder if I'm gonna get in trouble with Twitch. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. I wonder if I'm gonna get in trouble with Twitch. I wonder if they're gonna see the very clearly weapon in his hand and be like, hold up! Hold it! Hold your horses! Now, I don't recall permitting this on our platform. Actually, no, it should be fine. People play Cyberpunk all the time on this game, so unless they start blurring out those weapons, it should be fine, right? Oh, boy. How did I make him sound when I was playing the game beforehand? I think I made him sound pretty... I think I made him sound like this. I think I made him sound like this. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for the whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. The door is unlocked. That's strange. I recall locking it before I left. Detective Gumshoe? What's the smell? It's very familiar. Blood? Oh, that's not great. Oh! Oh! What the? What's the meaning of this? Freeze. Identify yourself. Shut up. Identify yourself. No, you. You've got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Did you just fucking shoot my portrait? Is that a threat? bitch, I will backhand you if I must. If you're gonna shoot me, like... enough of this you think you got me stuff. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really think I'd get this far, so... Let me make one thing very clear to you. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. Turns around, shows pulls out saber. I mean, you know... Okay. Yeah, I'll just go then. Goodbye. Bye. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district of You Will Never Know. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrusted into a multitude of cases in some very frantic and busy days. March 14th, 2:26 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. He looks so impatient. I can't believe this is happening to me of all people. But why? Why must bad things happen to good people? Like, why does everything bad have to happen to me? I haven't done anything wrong. Not lately. I'll admit in the past I've done some bad things, but come on. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Oh, my poor portrait, dude. my poor portrait. I mean, at least he didn't shoot the expensive suit, but I mean, come on. It took me years to get that up there. Ah! Mr. Edgeworth, sir, are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Dick Gumshoe. Don't ask me why he wanted to be called Dick. I don't know. He is a detective with the local precinct. I'm gonna turn up the game just a little bit because I think it's a little too low. And the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. I'm doomed. I'm doomed. This man has lost every single moment. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine, however. Look what they did to your office! It's totally trashed! I'll say. The culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Oh, sounds like you're getting really burned up over this thing. I mean... May I kindly direct your attention to the body that is currently on the floor? A murder was committed in my office. I think a teacup was smashed over there. My poor chessboard has been turned over. And my portrait has fallen off the wall due to somebody shooting it. I am not having a good day, Gumshoe. I am in fact having a horrible one. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. Oh, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small if we are, to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads of information we find etched into the forefront of my mind. It's speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? Crime scene office. Is it really coincidence that the murder took place in my office? I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really just say it's a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office? For security reasons, this office's door has a lock built into it. What do you mean, sir? Are you stupid? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. I know that's an unfamiliar term with you, but I need you to actually lock the fuck in. Please. Logic? Oh, I'm fucked. We are so screwed, it's not even funny. By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. Now that I've told you the textbook definition of logic, can you please lock in? Gumshoe. So how do you use it? Oh my god. Oh my god, Gumshoe. How have we worked together for this long? Oh, well, first I recall the information we've gathered with that button, and then I connect them together with the triangle of fate. Like this. Now to use L1 and record facts. Cool. Okay. There. Connect. There. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as a mere coincidence. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. No, you weren't. Don't lie to me. Don't even try to fool yourself. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? The killer's goal. Why did this happen in my office? What was the killer after? Ew. Voice fatigue. Begins already. You're really on a ball today, sir, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Alright, I'll accept that. I will accept that ego inflating. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. If I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. It's unfortunate that the person in control of this is an idiot. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir. Begin investigation. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that. When I want to examine something, I simply use X when I'm next to it. What's X, sir? That's a good question. I'm not... You know? I'm not too sure. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just use a triangle, okay? What's triangle? Yeah, it's a good question. I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Alright, let's take a look around. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. I think I've seen one of these before. I think I've seen one of these before. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know! I was issued the exact same model. I think. Oh, Detective I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. But now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. It's the same type of revolver as the ones used by this precinct's detectives. That's alarming. Okay. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny, like this wallet, for instance. What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a wallet. It is a wallet. It's a police badge, detective. Oh, no, wait. Whoops. It's a police badge, detective. Oh, hey, I have the exact same thing, actually. What a coinkydink. Why did I have to get stuck with you? Why out of everyone in the precinct did I have to get stuck with you? Of all people, why? Why you? Let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective just like you. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Yeah, in a minute. Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. Looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Great. Thank you, Sherlock Holmes. Yep. And until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. I believe I'm starting to, get away from my actual voice. For some reason, my coffee is not as hot as I thought it was. Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so. Keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to press R1 to open my organizer. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on it and in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. Okay. So we got Buddy Faith, and we have the prosecutor badge. We got Buddy Faith. This poor man. Your files are all over the floor, sir. They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. Unfortunate. Aw, and I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I watered the flowers every day just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place up until it sparkled. Does this man have a life? What does he do? I don't believe it. I packed those files on these shelves so tight. And then not even an earthquake could make them fall off. Just look at them. At this rate, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all. A problem, to be sure. Well, once the investigation is over, we'll put them back up on the shelf. That's weird. It looks like there's something written. My teacups. Eh! Watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir. Oh, the killer's going to pay. This tea set. Yikes. You're really mad over this. This tea set is very dear to my heart and can only be bought in England. It costs more than your whole month's paycheck. What? Now I feel like the killer's wasted one of my monthly paychecks. Yes, indeed. Is there a way I can, like, not run? There's got to be a way to do that, right? I guess we'll check these. Oh, it's your trophy, the Knight of the Prosecutors, right? King of the Prosecutors, and it's not a trophy; it's a shield. They only send this to the winning prosecutor, right? Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, that is something only I can determine for myself. That's so slick, sir. I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime. Don't you don't kid yourself. Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me. Well, it's a good thing my steel samurai doll was spared any harm. Speaking of which, I still haven't actually sat down and watched any of that show. What's it about again? Well, I don't know much about it myself, but the hero of the Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo-Old Tokyo, is the Steel Samurai, and his goal is to defeat the evil magistrate. It's a show geared towards kids. However, its high production values and riveting plot draws in a number of adults as well. Spin-offs like Pink Princess, warrior of Little Old Tokyo, and the Nickel Samurai, along with the deluge of merchandise and even the new stage show gives it presence. You know a lot. Are you sure you're not some sort of rabid fanboy? Of course not! Anyone that keeps up with society knows at least this much. And that conversation lasted longer than expected. Let us return to the investigation. Please. My desk. It's been a while since I've sat at this desk. Oh, how I've missed you. It's so tidy it looks newer than when I first bought it. Oh yeah, that thing's so polished it makes mirrors jealous. Don't tell me you had no other work the entire time I was away. My job is to protect your office, sir. And you did such a good job protecting it that a murder occurred in it. Great job, Detective Gumshoe. Hey, everyone in the office, let's give a round of applause to Detective Gumshoe, the protector of my office, who let a man in and let him kill one of his fellow officers. Well done, Detective Gumshoe. That's harsh, sir. I have to admit the desk has never looked better, so I guess I can't dock this pay. How is it coming along? Please, I need absolute silence. Fingerprint lifting is a delicate art. I never. Unbelievable. I hope we can solve this quickly. I'd like to return to relaxing on the sofa. That thing looks like a billion times softer than my mattress at home. Now what's this? Hello, Slothy! Welcome to the show. Can I sit on it too, just for a little while, sir? Detective Gumshoe. You know I can't allow that. Until this case is solved, neither of us has time to spare, let alone rest. You're right, sir. I'm gonna work hard and be a real trooper to the end. Even once this case is over, I don't think you can afford to take any time off. Anyway. You. Do you have anything to report? Sir, yes, sir. Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. And yet there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my eyes. Talk about a contradiction. Something out of the ordinary, huh? I should look around a bit more. I'm so tired and not good but not horrible. But that's a good thing. Ouch! They even knocked over your chess set! I had it all set up ready for when you got back. I figured we could play a few games. I had no idea you were interested in chess. I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try. In that case, I suppose I could set some time aside after we solve this case. Though I don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity much. This poor man. Is that it? Well, I guess I better start piecing things together. victim was a detective. Yeah, that's his gun. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to a recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What have we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir, this guy's wearing a gun holster. Really? You don't say. So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. It can be assumed that this gun is the murder weapon. It was issued to the victim. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. As I always say, you gotta look carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use the right analog stick to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use L1 and R1 to zoom in and out to get the nitty-gritty. To think that it's so easy to take a life with just the pull of the trigger. You know, I can't ever see myself really liking guns. Oh, but I love the ones that use at track and field meets to start races. If you take off before it's fired, everybody always ends up following your lead. To chase you down for a false start, detective. Now that you mention it, even when I finish first, I always wind up in last place. It looks like only one round was fired from this. Wow. So the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wrestling the gun from him. Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? We have no proof for now, but this is a distinct possibility. I guess this is all we're going to find out. We should send the body to the autopsy. Jim! Why? Oh, why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? Excuse me. Are you all right? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be. Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body?! Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh! Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure. Just in a blood-stained suit, pal. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes, I am. I'm Jacques Portsman, prosecutor. Jim here was my partner in crime busting. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I am also a prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office. Yes, that is correct. It was you! You were the one who killed Jim! Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, all right? I will not! I know how things work around here. High prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. And the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. So it was you, then! You're Jim's killer! No way, pal! You got it all wrong! Everyone calm down, or I will throw you all out of this office! Mr. Portsman, correct? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. What the hell is that supposed to mean? I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know? Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? Pleasure to work with you. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then, it's your room after all. Thank you. I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there! Sir! I want you to capture the scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. You know, I didn't think about this beforehand. But if I were the forensic guy, I'd find it kind of weird that the guy who seemingly is not that distraught about this wants a picture of the body with him in the picture. I'd find that very weird, admittedly. Yeah, sure, I'll take a picture. Something's not right here. I should probably give them some space. Yes, let's give them some space so they have plenty of time to... Ah! Your jacket, sir! What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra-special jacket that made your prosecutorial debut in? What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here. Huh? Like what? I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective? There is a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? Yeah, the guy fired 2 shots, you dumbass. Cheap viewers on Streambo. Not shut down. If only I could affect you from here. Wait, I can. Your time has come. The time has come. Prepare to die. Was a good try, it really was. Did I say contradiction? It must be rubbing off on me. It's starting to sound like him. But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. Oh, you mean like that hole in the suit? This is it. The bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should point my cursor at it and press triangle with conviction. When I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. Never mind the fact that literally everyone else in this game does this. The bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first failed the victim, and the second failed this frame. Hey, that's right! However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too. Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Ah, that. It's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money. I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that. Oh, talk about dusty. I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here. I would have kept it clean for you, sir. So, when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So, what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. That's it. Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. It kind of looks like someone was messing with it. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny like this dust. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? The keypad. Don't you find it a bit too clean? Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, forensic scientists. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift a single print. Looks like it was wiped down as well. Oh, as I thought. It appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have. Yes, of course. I would say that this is it. I believe I have figured out what the murderer was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was a theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. Yes. The files! There is a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir. I'm gonna shelve files like you've never seen before, even in a library. Sure, let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And, so what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it! Here, let me help. So this file goes here, and that book goes there. Sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal! Okay, done! It appears that the murder was definitely committed here. Oh, the bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. And then the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out. I wonder if there's a setting that can actually change. You know what? I'm gonna check that right now. I wonder if there's a way. No. Nah. Nah, there's nothing here that tells me if I can change the things to a more friendly setting. Sorry, Twitch, we're kind of shit out of luck on that one. If this does concern you, I'm sorry. There's no way I can fix it. Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now. You know I'm not good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. Well, yeah, these are on the floor. I put them all back just like they should be, sir. Doesn't look like anything's missing. Although it does look like the killer moved the body to flip through my shelves. I wonder if they found what they were looking. Victim's handprints. He must have tried to support himself with his hands out here after being shot. There are prints on the floor, too. Those must have been made when unable to stay. Those must have been made when unable to stay standing. He dropped to the floor. So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh? Bloody Jack, hello! Welcome back! It's nice to see you again. I'm sorry it's not Genshin Impact this time. We're doing a little bit of a change of pace today. For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file's spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. And I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. Yeah, I already have a contradiction. The files are in the wrong spots. It appears that the victim was sitting in a sitting position here after being shot. Oh, so that's why the seat of the victim's pants has blood on it. That would be the logical conclusion. Why is it that you always connect the dots on the weirdest of things? Low-key can't hear you. My background is loud. Can I turn chat box? Like turn it off? I mean, I can turn it off. Oh, I see. Oh, I get it now. Okay, so the sound on your end is being too loud. Got it. The blood on this guy's pants proves that pretty well. In a sense, I suppose. See? I'm not completely useless, Mr. Edgeworth. I never said you were. I mean, yeah. If I'm not careful... I mean, it has to be that. Eureka! There's clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see it? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. That means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that has caused this problem? The order of the files. What game is this? This is Ace Attorney Investigations. Have you heard of the Ace Attorney game before? I believe the order of the files is a bit off. I mean, I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are all wrong, sir. Oh? Yeah. You see here how the files that were shot being with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They are exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. Turn on chat box. You just told me to turn it off! I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, Detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. Do you think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved? They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith. And then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly. Wait, you're reading it? I thought the game had voice actors. No. No. You guys get a treat today. You guys get a treat to my voice acting today. Excellent. Or, exactly. And then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice. Once before and once after the crime. But why? Now that the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder, time to give it another look. How's my new profile pic? I can't see it. Your voice acting is good? Well, I'll have to let Jester know that you agree. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. And we figured out that the killer went through your bookshelf twice. Indeed. There are many things the killer did that don't make sense. But to figure out the whys, we need more information. These handprints belong to the victim, right? Sorry, sir, I almost sounded like you for a second. They make sense with the body position. Yes, he must have left them when he was trying to support himself after he was shot. However, the final position of the body shows that it was moved. I need to go over this crime scene with a fine-toothed comb one more time. There must be some reason as to why the victim's body was moved. But there is no time to ponder that now. Let us continue with our investigation, Detective. Roger that, sir. I'm raring to go. Just started Sumeru? Oh, boy, you're gonna have quite the fun time. It's gonna hurt your brain. You're gonna come out of that a changed man. This... What is that? Why does it say Gumshoe on there in blood? I'd say that's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed. No, wait, there's gotta be some mistake! Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me! Say something, sir! It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me in my situation? I felt so bad I'm here. Hello, Jester! It's nice to see you. Is this what the killer was really after? I feel like Fontaine is fun. Define fun. Fontaine can be fun, I will admit, but I'll let you figure that out for yourself. One of the files that were written upon the blood was stolen by the culprit. Oh, he angry. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And most important, and this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me! Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting, Jack, that you're on YouTube, not on Twitch. I keep forgetting that. I have multi-stream on, so I can see both Twitch and YouTube. That's why there's a bunch of stuff. You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you are going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words. They're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. He seems way too chipper for a guy whose partner just died. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you gonna do? Well, I always do in court. I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? How can you be so fucking dumb? Might as well. Alright, first I listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open my organizer with awe and present the piece of contradictory evidence. To present something, I simply use triangle, but that's old news. But it's not like there's gonna be a flaw in the testimony every time, right? Correct. And at those times, I need to press the witness with L1. Sometimes by pressing, I can draw out new information and new or modified testimony. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations, too. Very well. I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully. Ah, yes. Mr. Portsman's logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Furthermore, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters in his body was hiding. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer. I can hear Jim's voice, and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There is no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. How do you stream on PS5? I have an Elgato. So what I do is I have an Elgato and I connect it to my computer and the PlayStation, which is currently on my dresser. So I had to buy like a very long HDMI cord to like extend it. You can do it from the PlayStation, but you won't be able to get like this setup going on when you do it. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Wrong. Press. Hold it. You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask. Hmm? What is it? Why do you call the victim Jim? You connect your PS5 to your PC? Yeah, in a sense. Why do you keep calling the victim Jim? Do you not know your own partner's name? When clearly his name is Buddy Faith. Isn't it obvious? Jim is the perfect name for my companion. Jacques and Jim. Don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jelly? But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name. Well, Jacques and Buddy just sounds off somehow. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim. Talks about the victim like he was his pet. Furthermore, you messed up the files to make it look like you committed theft instead.
Hold it!
Do you really think it was necessary to dishevel my shelf twice to do that? That's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft. Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth? It's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle. I'll have you know that I can eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be in instant noodles, but... Poor thing. What an evil prosecutor you were paired up with, and what a motive, no? That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf.
Hold it!
Hold it? And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding.
Hold it!
Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? The body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. Judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for your detective to miss something. Who do you think you are? I ought to throw you out that window right there for saying that shit to my face. You know nothing about me, pal. There's a lot a person can understand about another from first impressions alone. I can't say I disagree with him on that point. Why don't you say something, sir? Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth! Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it with evidence. I couldn't ask for a better setup for the game-finishing spike. Actually, there's a gigantic law in his flawed logic. And now it's time to present him some evidence. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic. Bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking, I get it. If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see it? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible! What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing at all. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spine. It's possible they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's name where the file should be is proof. Yeah, I mean the S is gone. And that's only half an H. If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. I've been duped. Which means, what exactly? What does it make this dying message? It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. Oh,
It's so low. I can't believe the criminal tried to pin the whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see. I'm gonna have him under arrest in no time.
well, Mr. Portsman. You're still on the tower? Well, Mr. Portsman?
Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold.
I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. You win some and you lose some. That's how life goes. Not everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. But you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however...
What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal?
Humor me for a second. Who has the keys to this office?
That would be me. Well, Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal.
That's absolutely right. And I acknowledge your innocence. And why do I sense that you still have something to say? Well, my friend. Let me just take off my jacket for a little bit. Well, I was thinking, did you know there is one other person with a key to this office? One other person? Hey, you there! Yes, sir! What is it, sir? Why don't you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? A lady? The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness.
Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal. Don't!
What's wrong with him all of a sudden? Oh. I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of the security... a member of security. Detective Gumshoe, sir. Maggie! Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight. I see. And your point is? I'm gonna go watch Ninjago. See ya. Okay. You have fun. Enjoy the Lego ninjas. My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building.
What?
If you are not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird.
How dare you! I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right, I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right, I did it.
Can we take that as a confession, Detective?
Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right?
Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. Reason for suspicion. I'm gonna go get myself something to drink before we continue this little shebang, so I will be right back. You guys enjoy the intermission. You I will shoot, though.
What are you doing? Are you trying to kill Robert? No! Robert! Robert, run! Run as fast as you can! I don't like being in this position. Annihilation is nigh!
Igniter?
My power is immense!
Hold on! Time out. Time out. It's just Igniter. I'm fighting Igniter. This isn't fair. Damn, Igniter really changed after like he got laid off from Skylanders.
Well, now hold on. What am I supposed to do with you then? Eldad? You just die. Oh no. You know, I get this weird feeling that something's following me.
Oh, Jesus. I did. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Your instincts were correct on that one.
Molly!
Who's gonna try and kill us?
Oh, see? Nobody home this time. Easy pickings.
They say.
Halt! Thieves!
I need to stop listening to you.
Dude, this is like the third time. This is like the second time we've been caught. What is wrong with you? What is the matter with you? There are dogs everywhere in this city. Why do I keep listening to your idiotic ideas?
You I will shoot, though.
What are you doing? Are you trying to kill Robert? No! Robert! Robert, run! Run as fast as you can! I don't like being in this position. Annihilation is nigh!
Igniter?
I return. Let's do this. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door. And that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. So you're saying she used the master key? Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then. This is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and a reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there's anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. I will press you for everything.
Hold it!
Hold on. Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird? That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean? Yeah, moving on. I hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated.
What do you mean unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal.
But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time. No. Not so fast. I, too, am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m., sir. What do you mean by missing? You misplaced the master key? As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words.
I'm not lying, sir.
If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now.
I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir.
Ha! A likely story. And where is your proof that the key was stolen to begin with?
I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again. I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it.
Yeah, pal, trust me, you don't want to test just how bad our luck is. Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh, but you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe.
Okay, you have a good day.
As Mr. Portsman says, Detective, I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking. It's time to counteract with a few facts of my own. And what, pray tell, do you have? It's been a while since I forgot this. Here's the key that I found.
Hold it!
I concur that the culprit's motive appears to have been thievery. However, glad to hear that the great Miles Edgeworth is in agreement with little old me. However, with regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and safe, hey, good thinking. Asking for my opinion on the matter. Would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence?
Hold it!
I thought we had established Detective Gumshoe's innocence pretty thoroughly. It was just a theory, one hypothesis among the many possibilities. I mean, I had my doubts about Miss Bird from the very beginning. If that's the case, then why didn't you mention her first? Now, don't make that face. See, there goes the truth, running the other way. Let's pick up the pace and see if we can't catch up to it. I don't think you're catching my drift. Ah, but we are in agreement that the detective isn't the killer, right? If so, then I hope you'll understand when I say that since she is the only one who could have opened your office door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect.
Hold it!
Don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions? Are you saying there's another way to open the door other than with the master key? Oh, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else. I'll have you know, I have never made a spare. So what are you insinuating? Nothing. Guess I should have known better than to suggest that someone like you would. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she?
Hold it!
Is there anyone in this district who hasn't at least heard of Detective Gumshoe? Good point. He's practically a celebrity among us prosecutors.
Really? I never knew I was so talked about, sir.
We're holding our collective breath, you know? For when you screw up so badly that you're literally chased off the force.
Wait, what? Is that true, Mr. Edgeworth?
Of course not. That's hogwash. Oh, don't scare me like that. I almost had a heart attack there. Making it all the more probable.
Hold it!
By dying message, you mean the bloody letters that spell out Gumshoe? I figured that whoever wrote his name must have wanted to frame him. Just the act of choosing his name is proof enough that the two knew each other well.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence!
I would love to. But first we should listen a bit more and digest what he is saying. And press him for more information.
Well, here's my question then. What the hell was he doing at 205? Master key to every office in the building. No, really. I might actually need a walkthrough for this one. Shit, I was hoping I wouldn't have to pull this up. Really hoping I wouldn't have to, but I have to, unfortunately. Let me see. I'm gonna need you to stop doing that. Stop it. Stop. Let's see. Present. Four. Yeah? Why this time? No. Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe. The existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was a part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down. I highly doubt that. I say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Yeah, even I didn't know about that safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? Curses, why? What made you? What's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault! What do you mean? It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safes. What did you just say? We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes. And that means... Yeah, I know. I'd only just told him too. Obviously, it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it. But the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming the victim was the thief. And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird. Excuse me? Oh, you motherfucker. I mean, you are a secret security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far even in your risky profession. What the? You're still accusing Maggie of murder? Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir. Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have a key to into this office. Which is precisely why you had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Ah! Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? Now, I think we're done here and the investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out? Can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office. Ah, but I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You're all suspects to varying degrees and therefore ineligible to run the show. I see. So this is how you're going to play this game. Listen here, pal. How many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. But, sir, we have no choice but to accommodate his request for now. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman. We will meet again. If that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now don't disappoint me, you hear? To be continued. Right now. Because why else would I do this? Yes. Save has been complete. March 14th, 4:18 a.m. 4 in the morning, huh? The sun's still down. What is with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable. Please maintain your professionalism, detective. I'll find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see. But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir. True. So then what now? Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch. Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway. Eh? Really, sir? For example, this hallway. The linchpin of his argument against Miss Bird is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information regarding the mystery surrounding my duel. If she really had the key, then she would... Oh. It's him. I never thought we'd see him again. I always thought he was just a legend. I always thought he was just a poor little mole. What do you want? It looks like you're in quite the pinch, Mr. Edgeworth. To be sure, a murder within the halls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. You must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly, post haste. Sounds like a messy case you've got your hands on. If you're ever lost or need some advice, my door is always open. How gracious. I will keep your offer in mind. Who is this guy again? What is a basketball doing here? That's Portsman's prized possession, sir. I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis. And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway. dangerous. What is a basketball hoop doing here? Hey, didn't this used to be outside next to the building a long time ago? So when and why was it moved indoors? I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently. Drag it? I heard it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it himself. All the way up to the 12th floor? Oh, that poor guy. I hope he got paid a lot. Is everything alright? Yes, sir. If you must know, I weighed myself this morning, and I'm finally at 154 pounds. Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway and room. Oh, everything's okay, sir. A word of advice. Stay focused, or you may start to lose even more weight. This office. 1203, 1203. Hey, Maggie, whose room is this again? It's Mr. Portsman's, sir. So he's my new neighbor, I see. I suppose he moved in while I was away overseas? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. 1202. These 4 numbers on a number plate alone proclaim this to be my office. Whoops! Hey, these number plates slide right out, sir. They have to be able to take the plate off when a room becomes vacant, you know. Although, the idea that it could be so easily removed is kind of strange. I don't see any signs of forced entry. And according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, sir. Meaning the door really was opened with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob? Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle. Wiped, they think. Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. Fortunately. A minimalist yet classy door made of top-quality wood. Sturdily made, making it near impossible to break in by force. It's almost majestic, sir. I wish I could be as stately as this door. Only Gumshoe would praise a door as something greater than himself. Being a detective has its own rewards, and a certain virtuous value, I think. If you live up to your full potential, that's a poignant trait that anyone can admire. I see! So you're saying, sir, that me being me is the best I can do for everyone? Right. Yes, that long pause wasn't exactly reassuring, sir. Why did it look like there was something else to investigate? Interesting. Very interesting, yes. That's weird. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. That's weird. It's... Ah! Isn't that missing 0 series file, sir? Doubt about it. The bloody letters mark it clear as day. There seem to be a few pages missing. Our thief only took what was necessary and left the rest behind. So what are these 0 files about, sir? I guess they've got something worth stealing in them, huh? Not particularly. It's just a collection of court case files. However, the case within these files are not mine. Huh? They belonged to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were. And that means the thief must have also wanted the file for a specific reason, right? It would seem so. Only the pages related to the case from 10 years ago are missing. I wonder why anyone would care about such an old case. Curious indeed. Whoops. A well-crafted, high-quality sofa. For visitors, the stitching is excellent. Talk about a luxury waiting area. These babies are also great for napping, you know. You would sleep even out here, detective? In a hallway? Whenever I do, I always wind up dreaming about giving testimony up on the stand.
And it always ends the same way. Me getting trounced by a lawyer, isn't that awful? Maybe I should give it a try sometime to envision myself winning naturally. I bet the thief's... I'll bet the thief's not under here. I guess there isn't enough space for anyone to hide under here anyway. I mean, if someone could contort themselves to fit, I'd be really impressed. Sounds to me like somebody has already tried at least once before. Unfortunate. Yes. Anyway, how are you? I was wondering if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case.
I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream. A dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth.
Okay, this chance passed me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. I should jog her memory by showing my nose to her with triangle.
Have you ever met the victim before?
Well, I've seen him in a couple of times before when I had to go to Mr. Portsman's office.
Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir.
It sounds like fun. Just ones I love to play with them.
It sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith did was pass him the ball, sir.
On second thought, I don't think I'd ever fit in all. I don't think I'd have fit in at all with them. Miss Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you are an acquaintance of the detective?
She was under my supervision back when she was still on the force, sir.
One day she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit.
But I owe a lot of Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer.
Or so I thought until a few hours ago.
Right before I was about to clock out for the night.
You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct?
Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures.
Don't sell yourself so short, lady.
Since I was 6 months old, when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building, oh my god. I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of food, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster. And now I even managed to be named a criminal just when I become a security guard.
That's a lot to go through in one lifetime.
I know! And just when I thought I had finally found my happiness, I wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck.
You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird, nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation.
Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth, you can count on me. I'll do all I can to help.
So when did you discover that the master key was missing?
By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 a.m., sir. And I noticed it was back at around 2:30 a.m. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those times, it was not just gone, but stolen, sir.
Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place?
It's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room away from the window.
Always, you say? Except for this time, correct?
Well, I admit that it was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I had used it that I left it sitting out on the ledge.
I can't talk today, apparently. She used the master key?
I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to guard it.
It's like talking to another gumshoe. Nope. This? Nope. I'm gonna present you with everything. Even my badge.
That's a prosecutor's badge, isn't it? It proves that you're really a prosecutor.
Interesting. Despite all the appearances, she seems to know more than Gumshoe.
With that badge, even I could be a professional prosecutor. Sir, may I please try that on just for a little bit?
I don't think that would be a very good idea, do you?
I guess not.
On second thought, they're actually on the same level. What did you mean by you used the master key?
Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key. I mean, it's my job as security guard, right? Ah!
What is it?
That's right. I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir.
What? Please tell me more, Mrs. Bird, quickly.
It was around 12 a.m. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir.
And that's when you loaned the master key to him?
No way! It's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir.
I see. And then what happened?
And then what happened after that? Well, he called me for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 a.m., I think. So in summary,
for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice.
talk about suspicious.
I doubt you could say that you've never left your keys open, Detective.
I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door.
Yes.
It's Mr. Portsman's personal basketball hoop. I can't believe he put something like that.
I can't believe he put something like this in the hallway of a prosecutor's office.
But, you know, it's actually pretty useful, sir. I haven't gotten lost trying to get to your office since it's been here.
How long have I had the same office and yet you still manage to get lost?
The door is locked tight. I bet the old credit card trick wouldn't work here, Mr. Edgeworth.
This is the office of a high prosecutor, Detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them.
Aha! So I guess only a great cat burglar could get in. That must be who our culprit is.
Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from? Room 1203. I take it that this is Mr. Portsman's office.
Yeah, you can't mistake it because of that basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me. Mr. Portsman had actually wanted room 1202 really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door, sir.
So why was Mr. Portsman so particular about getting room 1202?
I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday is December 2nd. Yep, that's gotta be it. I can't think of another reason why.
I could think of at least 3. Why am I even wasting time thinking about this? A minimalistic, classy door made of top quality wood.
Even Mr. Portsman seems dignified just because he works behind one of these.
Nonsense. A man doesn't become more or less dignified because of where he works.
Well, he still seems more dignified than Mr. Payne.
Mr. Payne?
I suppose custodial work can also be dignified.
Something's not right here. Let me just put your C's together really fast. Miss Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story.
What? No way, sir.
You said that you locked up Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 a.m., correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time.
Wow, nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro. I had totally forgotten about all that, but thanks to you, I remember it now. You're right, it was around that very time that I realized the master key was missing.
And?
Well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, couldn't I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir.
You pretended?
Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir.
So in actuality, you never did relock the door then?
Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly.
Oh yeah?
There's a contradiction here between reality and the evidence. If what Miss Bird has said is true, then why is this door locked tight? Huh? You know, you're right. Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door? I am certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't. Which means, what, sir? It either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door to Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one. She opened a different door, but how can you prove that? There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is we need to examine these. The prints on the number plates, they will tell us all we need to know. Everything? Really? Like what, sir? Oh, damn it. Fine, I'll take the one hit. Was that supposed to be a joke to cheer me up, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, that's it. Now, we should get back to doing that. Prints on the doorknob. The prints on the doorknob will tell us everything. Hey, you, pal! You, pal! Do us a favor and see what you can lift from this, okay? So, what'd you find out? There's no need for such belligerent nostril flaring, detective. Sir, I have found only Mr. Portsman's and Mr. Faith's prints on this doorknob. So only 2 people's prints were found on this, huh? That's pretty decisive. I'm lost, sir. Thinking logically, a certain other person's prints should be on this knob as well. Now then, whose prints should also be on that doorknob? One Maggie Bird. Don't you find it odd that the prints on of the person who unlocked this door are absent? You mean... Yes, the door that Miss Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one. Miss Bird says she unlocked this door, but her prints were not found on the doorknob. Curious. What have we here? Well now, what is this? What's this? Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it. That looks like a note from the victim. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence, but just like we talked about on the phone. Bye. Just like the one we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch up with you later. Yeah, and it's for Mr. Portsman. What's this? What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey, how about a game? That's okay, detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off. Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk. The positioning of this hoop is definitely unnatural. I better take note of this. I've completed my investigation. Poking around in this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely. Huh? How so, sir? In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit. You know who the killer is? Wow, Mr. Edgeworth. As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. Mr. Portsman? Knew it! That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me, too. I suspected it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir. That is anything but logical. Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come what may, it's time to knock on truth's door. It's time to face the man himself. Mr. Portsman, I finished processing the bloody letters, sir. Alright, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. Okay, looking good. You there. Take good care of this. Go! Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe. And a line for you, Portsman. We've got you now. Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke? It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jacques Portsman, that you are the guilty party in this case. Oh. I see. What made you come to that conclusion, I wonder? You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. Well, I guess you could stay if you promise to stay out of our way. You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job? I can see right through the unsightly, paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. Who'd have never thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? You're gonna bring him up? Why are you bringing him up? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years? But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Alright, now you listen, asshole. Really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know? Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours for now is explaining yourself. Although that, too, will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up. Well, aren't we full of ourselves? Even though you have yet to prove anything. I don't need a walkthrough for this. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here. Sorry, we are not finished yet. Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something? I'll show you what I'm basing my accusations on with evidence. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit.
Hold it!
Oh? And what, pray tell, kind of evidence are we talking? Jim was my partner, so you can't say I had a motive for killing him. And? That's it? That's not even an anthill, let alone a mountain. But it's more than enough, wouldn't you agree? Might I recommend that you review what the word evidence means? It doesn't change the fact that the evidence doesn't point to me as the killer. How, may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here?
Objection!
I believe you were able to open my office door with the master key, no less.
Objection!
Wait, hold on for a sec. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know. Precisely. You were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. What do you mean? That's right. You used your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key.
Take that!
You had asked Miss Bird to open your own office door for you, yes? Yeah. I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know? But the room you had Miss Bird open at that time was not your own, was it? What? You have quite the imagination. But why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? I'm certain that it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir. See, Miss Bird backs up my story. Yet what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted? And how do you suppose I did that? By switching the number plates on our doors, for example. That's right. They do slide out pretty easily. Furthermore, you then used one other thing to give a very strong impression. That the door she was opening was yours and not, in fact, mine. What was it that Mr. Portsman used to make... I mean... Only an idiot wouldn't do this. What? The basketball hoop, sir? It's quite the peculiar fixture in a hallway. Let alone a hallway in this building. Which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor. That's very true, sir, but there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door I was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's. There are signs that the hoop has been moved. to sit in front of my office, to be sure. I see. So that's how you throw your suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture is a little off the racetrack. Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. So he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears. My jacket's not dirty. I'll have you know I just washed it yesterday. Please calm down. I intended to show who is the one truly covered in slime here. I had the girl open my office door.
Hold it!
Using the master key, of course. Sure, you have a problem with that? That is what the master key is for, right? Perhaps we should place it in an elaborate labyrinth or some sort for the people like you. After that, I was in my room the entire time. And what were you doing in your office? I was doing my usual training regimen. Training regimen? Were you going through your law books from start to finish? Mainly batting practice and some weights. Oh, and I jog when I get the chance. Wow, you must be the buffest prosecutor we have. With the weakest legal muscles, it would seem. I was doing my usual workout, so...
Objection!
Nope, that's not right. That's not right. And explosion. Okay.
Hold it!
I think I've given you quite a few reasons, actually.
Objection!
But none of those would stand up on their own.
Objection!
Then what about all the evidence?
Objection!
It's all circumstantial. No judge would convict on such flimsy evidence. It seems to be trembling a little. One more little push, and all I have to do is find the flaw in his testimony.
Hold it!
Nonsense, you say? Yes, because I'm telling the truth here.
Hold it!
With using the master key, of course.
Hold it!
And you were just working out, hmm? Working out, yes. The flaw.
Objection!
No, oh, no, no, no. I had your door dusted for prints. My door? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time. You're right. I didn't find anything. And definitely not Miss Bird's fingerprints. Her prints? What do they have to do with anything? Let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened your door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Sorry, I had to go... Further, all of the prints on my office door's knob have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it.
Objection!
But it doesn't change the fact that I was in my room the entire time. Is that really a fact, or is it fiction? Hey, would I lie to you? I have here proof that you were not in your room the entire time as is.
Take that!
This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman. A note? It was left under your door. Or did you not notice? And right here it says, but you're out. You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then where were you and what were you doing? Ah! Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me, and Detective Faith found you out. Possibly because he heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said, when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office. And just what's so funny, pal? Well, that look of stiff seriousness on his face, on the face of this office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world. What? Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all and he even backed it up. You're the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already. As I said, and as I said earlier, it's also circumstantial. So full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints? Well, I can readily confess that I had wiped that knob down well. Eh? I'm a little obsessive compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched, which is why I wiped the blah blah blah. Which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own prints would be on there. You just made that up now, didn't you? Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example. Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway? Hey, even geniuses fail at times. Chamberlain. Hello! It's nice to see you. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters. Although that's no excuse. And that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size. Ah, but you can't prove that, can you? No, I can't. I'll readily admit that. Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here. Portsman makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it. Besides, I have an airtight alibi. Airtight, you say? I only just realized I had one as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner. Alright, let's hear it. If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 a.m., correct? And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi. Do you really think it's that perfect? Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself. Detective Gumshoe. Sir, yes, sir. I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. The guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him at around 2 a.m. You see? All of the evidence points to him being the culprit, but there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere. I don't believe that. You are correct. It was around 2 a.m. Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with the time. I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2. Oh, giving testimony like a pro! Okay, so you came back to your office at 2. And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit.
Hold it!
It is as you say, however, you are the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the culprit's person's face? Was it who you saw? It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see. Oh, come now. I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you? I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one. Oh well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. So you paid the criminal affairs department a visit? Yep, right after I left the prosecutor's building. I headed straight for the precinct.
Hold it!
Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony. And it was just as I said, right? Yes, sir. A number of detectives said they saw you at around that time. See, I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve. Impossible. He actually does have the perfect alibi. What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face? Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we reached the end of the line and it's time to get off this crazy train. You there! Sir, please escort the young lady out, but remember, be gentle. Maggie! Detective Gumshoe! Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn this situation around. If only I had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me cast doubt on his alibi? I need to calmly think this through one more time. And with logic. Okay. Yes? Evidence points to the shelves being disturbed once before and once after the murder. But who's to say the person who did it the second time is the same as the first? Which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. Interesting, yes. If indeed there were two culprits, then that resolves the contradiction behind our murder weapon. Despite the fact that there are 2 bullet holes here in this room, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, leaving the possibility that the other bullet was fired from the other visitor's gun. Furthermore, if we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back.
Objection!
Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case. Great, so you finally come to your senses. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you saying? This has been a bigger misunderstanding on my part from the start. I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case. What do you mean? The person I ran into was just your average thief. A thief? But, sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts? Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means in actuality, 2 culprits stole into my office tonight. What do you mean 2? It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice, and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Miss Bird and gained entry into my office. Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know. If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me, which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time. So then, this would be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right? Correct. And then just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith? But why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir? He probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess. Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right? And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into this office to check it out. Correct. And as a detective, that was the right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing. Because it was Mr. Portsman. Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him. And then he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind. You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that? Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room. And this is where it gets cold. There was another? Visitor, sir? Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing. So, they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize. The stolen zero file, right, sir? Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. Then the thief threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during that brief encounter. So, the shelves getting messed up twice in the two bullets. It was all because two different people were doing those things at two different times? Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief, and was not, in fact, Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into with the other person is now irrelevant. Because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit. What's so funny, pal? Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything. Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth after all. But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right, it would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. I'll admit to you that one. But there is still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir. There's a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point. Don't say that, sir. I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must. You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down to the criminal affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. Uh-huh. So you think we should be out there looking for the thief? Of course! Now isn't the time to be having these dead-end discussions. I don't think it's all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? Why are you doing this to me? Why? I know he's lying. I know he was here, at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it.
Hold it!
What makes you say that? Actually, no, I wouldn't. Well, why not? That's elementary. The dying message, of course. Mr. Faith's killer would very clearly left those letters on the spines of those files. And it was after they were on there that the thief stole one of them. You mean the zero files, right? And that's how we also know the letters themselves were a setup and not from Mr. Faith. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves? Maybe the killer just didn't think of that either. Yeah, that must be it. Maybe, just maybe. Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief would linger nearby. Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get away with what. Maybe they didn't get what they were really after. Oh, you talk like you know quite a bit about this thief. Yeah, it's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything after all. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was trading in my room. But according to Mr. Faith's notes, hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left that note for me in the early evening? If you have no proof that he left it at a different time, say just before he was murdered. I don't have any, no. But I was in my office the entire time.
Hold it!
Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith? Ah, that's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. You know, those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits. And what of the evidence he brought? They were things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items, a gun and a pendant. Interesting. This piece of testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the cracks. Really?
Hold it!
A gun and a pendant? Yeah. This gun, which was the murder weapon. And this pendant, which belongs to the victim. And why were you taking them to criminal affairs? There was something in a past case file I wanted to compare these two to. But all this has nothing to do with the case right now. Anyway, I believe you'll find that long paper trail I left to be your satisfaction. This is all matching up with what Detective Gumshoe found out.
Hold it!
Why'd I do that again? I didn't want to do that again. Wasn't this the gun?
Hold it!
I can't expect you to know, can I? No, but I guess you can't expect me to take a guess based on logical deductions. Oh, then let's see you deduce. Jim waited for me to leave and then stole the master key. For the purpose of sneaking into your room, of course. And that's when Miss Bird caught him red-handed and the murder occurred. It's all exactly as I had laid out earlier. I know he's lying. I know he was here. It was this guy, wasn't it? Hang on.
Objection!
No, that's not it. Nope. Nope, no, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. Okay. Wait. What was it he said here? This?
Objection!
No, it's not that. Mr. Portsman, there's a large flaw in your logic. And back to the walkthrough. Okay. Oh yeah. If you knew that, then why didn't you get this?
Objection!
Only 2 pieces? I believe the proper phrase here is, you fail. Excuse me? You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from you. What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you. Well, here's a piece I think you should read carefully. Ah! It says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces. Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman. I can't believe to get tripped up by simple arithmetic. Where is the missing piece of evidence? It's... You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe? You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe. Don't come any closer! I'm warning you! This is all part of the investigation, pal. So don't even think about stopping me. No! Hey, what's this? He had this on him, sir. Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide. But why would he hide something like that? There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. For the section of the tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin. KG8 is. That's a police case number, sir. Does that mean this video is evidence from that case? Interesting. However, what's recorded on this isn't what's important right now. Let's give the casing a thorough once over. Ah! That's blood, isn't it? Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh. I mean, this might be Detective Faith's blood? No, you've got it all wrong. No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video. Yeah, it's totally suspicious. Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him? You know very well there's no way to prove that. Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints. If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith. No, impossible. I'm dead. I ate my medal. I'm now choking. March 14th, 5:47 a.m. All of that in an hour. Mr. Portsman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir. Very good. And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well. Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside of the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing. I'm just sorry you had to get caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies. Aw, it was nothing. Really, compared to what I've been through, I mean. I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. If it had been a hold-up or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person. Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail. You know, something, sir, that Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor. And why would you say he was corrupt? Well, I heard that there was a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir. Forged evidence, huh? And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons. Oh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession. We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office. Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just clammed up. Although we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something. This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes. Oh. Well. With Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this. Huh? Then Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy? I didn't say that. But rather, there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance to this piece of evidence.
Take that!
The person who stole this file. The other villain of the night. Yeah, I wonder who it was. And what happened to the stolen pages? I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Yes? I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir. This card. What is it, sir? Is it a bird or something on there? It's not just any bird. It is the mark of the raven. A three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, Detective. Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? The great thief everyone's talking about. Yes, it is the mark of the great thief Yadagarasu. Under the mark of the legendary bird, the Yadagarasu is noble to the end. A modern Robin Hood. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yadagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. The Yadagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target note. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with this single card. Although it has been a while since the Yadagarasu's last appearance. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, looks like something's written on the back. What? Let me see. It says the location of where the thief put the stolen files. So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yadagarasu? Yadagarasu. Organization. Quite a few keywords are popping up in this mystery. A murder in my office. The return of the great thief, Yadagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. For they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. The end. And that's probably where I'm going to end this stream. I wasn't going to do too long of a one. Mainly because I do for a fact that if I did, we'd be, well, I unfortunately have stuff to do, actually. So, I'm probably going to stream Saturday. I have Saturday off. I'm going to double check my schedule for next week to see what days I work then. But I do believe I work one of the days I'm supposed to stream that day. I hope you all enjoyed my voice acting. I personally don't think I'm good at it. Mainly because my voice grows rather tired after like a short amount of time. But I hope you all enjoyed it nonetheless. I am gonna go perform some tasks that I need to do. Maybe try to get some Halloween decorations for our humble abode, because we don't have any, and I think we're really the only people on the street that don't have it. But anyway, I'll see you all Saturday. It's probably going to be either a Genshin stream or another different game. I know this month I want to have Vampire join me for Costume Quest, the second game. Because we already played the first one, I might as well play the second. Anyway, I'll see you all next time, and remember, you are the pen and paper. Only you can decide how your story ends. Farewell. Hug your families, your pets. And I will see you Will-O-Wisps next time.